Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Two Toe Tags Metal Reviews. And today we're going to be reviewing the new album from Avatar titled Hunter Gatherer. So we've listened to this album for a week, constantly on and on and on and on. Vile, what are your thoughts on the album?
My thoughts are that this album is pretty good. I really actually enjoy listening to this album. It's my favorite Avatar album, I'll say that off the bat, because I was kind of a 50-50 on this band. They're kind of a hit and a miss band for me, but this album definitely drew me more in, and there's a lot about it that I really like. But I do have some gripes. You know what, I'm gonna start with the gripes, because, you know, finish on a high note and all that stuff. That's our motto here. So, I'm just gonna get it out in the open, my biggest gripe. I'm gonna talk about Gun. We talked about Gun in our first impressions. I basically handed you the floor and you gave us your opinions on it at that time. We kind of both agreed that the vocals on that song are raunchy. It's very weird because Johannes sounds amazing throughout the rest of the album. He had some beautiful notes on a lot of songs. Like Scream Until You Wake, he has some good notes. On Secret Door, he has good notes. Colossus, he has good notes. He has good notes. He has a good vocal performance everywhere, except for Gun. Gun is atrociously bad on vocals. He's flat on every verse, he's sharp on every chorus, and he's off key the entire time. It is bad. The weird thing for me is, I disliked it when I first heard it, but then the more I started listening to it, it started to grow on me. And I started to like the song, and I'm like, you know what, this is actually a really good song. It's got a lot of emotion, it's blah blah blah. And then I flip-flopped again. And I went back to not liking it, which is weird for me. Usually, like, it'll either go, you know, I'll change my opinion once or none at all. But I changed my opinion on this song twice, and as it sits right now, I think this song is utter trash. And I skip it. The lyrics are always interpretive. I mean, I try to make sense of these lyrics, and I can't figure out any way that they actually make any type of sense. It just sounds like a bunch of random phrases put together. It's meant to sound sad or whatever. I'm sure maybe there's some sort of, maybe Johannes has some sort of meaning behind it, but as far as I'm concerned, it just was all over the place, poorly performed. The piano was the best part, and it's not even like extravagant. I might get flack for dumping on it so bad, because I know there's people out there that like it, but honestly, if the vocal performance was good, then I probably would have loved this ballad. I would have loved it. But the fact that the vocal performance is so raunchy just makes me cringe. And I started to like it, but it fell apart for me again.
We were talking about that song as the week went, and we kind of discussed, like, is it intentional for his vocal performance?
I wondered the same thing. We did talk about it, you're right.
Because it's, like, you know, it makes sense to have like kind of an unbridled emotional kind of, I'm throwing my heart out there and I don't care how stable it is. It makes sense. Yeah. And in some cases it might sound good, but in this case,
yeah, like if you're gonna do that and make it intentional, it's not a good choice. It's not a good design choice, in my opinion.
In some situations it can work. It just didn't work here.
I think it would work if he was at least in the right key, or if he wasn't flat or sharp all the time. And like I said, it's so weird because he sounds so good everywhere else. So it makes me wonder if they're doing, you know, pitch shifting and, you know, post effects, you know, post edits to make his voice sound good in all the other songs, and they left it raw for this one. I'm probably wrong on that. I think he just went with one take and said, okay, however it turns out, that's how it turns out. I don't know. There's something odd about it, but to me it sounds bad. It's definitely a huge sore of this album, and I wish that song wasn't there. Another reason I wish that song wasn't there is because what that song attempts to accomplish, I believe, is accomplished by A Secret Door, track number 3. Because A Secret Door breaks up the pace. Like, you get two pretty chaotic songs in the first two tracks, and then A Secret Door breaks up the pace, and that's all you need on an album that's, you know, a metal album. You need one song to break up the pace, and A Secret Door does that. Now, A Secret Door's not soft all the way through. It flips back and forth between kind of a mellow and a heavy kind of vibe, which a lot of this album kind of does. But that was it. That was your key right there to giving the album some diversity. Gun does not need to be there. It puts a stain on this album.
Yeah, like given the context of all the other songs, Gun feels like it's too much of an outlier. Because you understand you have this ballad and then you get right back to the action with the song afterwards, but every time I kind of put on Gun, I was either neutral on it or I'm just like, just put on another one. Because I just put this album on because I know the other songs have a cool energy to them. They have something. Gun detracts from it too much to fit properly. When you put this album on, do you put it on looking forward to Gun? Or do you put it on looking forward to songs like Silence of the Age of Apes, Secret Door, or Scream Till You Awake, songs like those? Because those give more of a personality to the album. That's what the album's about. Yeah. You put on Gun and I don't know, I feel like, and not to say you can't have a ballad on an album, but this was not a good one.
No.
So it hurts the album in that sense. It detracts too much from it.
Anyways, enough about Gun, because I think you guys get how we feel about it. I want to talk, obviously, about some stuff that I like, and there's quite a bit. The guitars on this album are phenomenal, okay? The riffing's great, especially Colossus. That chorus is so energetic and so driving and so just addictive. Love the hell of it, crank it up. Reminds me of something like Lordi or Rammstein would play, just super high energy. I love it. Cool thing about that song too is the first time they do the chorus, they actually do it with no bass on the first section of the chorus, and then they add the bass in, and then every other time they do it, there's bass. Just a nice little thing, cool little tidbit they do. But the solos on this album, some pretty rad freaking solos, man. Wormhole's got a great solo. When All But Forces Failed has a great solo. Silence in the Age of Apes has an amazing solo, probably my favorite. Scream Until You Wake has a really great solo. Just really, really awesome solos all around. And continuing with the guitaring, Wormhole has this winding, kind of spiraling guitar sound effect, which is really, really cool. And it's done so simply. It's just constant tremolo picking, 16th notes, as he moves up and down the neck of the guitar. And they have like a reverb going on to give it this like slight echoey, very mesmerizing kind of sound. But it just sounds spirally, like it sounds like you're spinning around as this guy's playing this riff. Super cool effect. Overall, the guitaring on this album is actually really, really good. I really liked it. Drumming's good too.
Yeah, overall this album is like solid, like straight up. Like overall, I still enjoyed this album, even though I have similar issues to Gun as you did.
Yeah.
But there is another issue with this album that kept bugging me, and that's the excess of long outros.
Yeah.
I counted. There are 6 out of 10 songs on this album that have an extended long outro with not much happening of at least like 30 seconds or more.
Yeah.
And I think one of the worst culprits of this is Child. Now this song, I have a weird opinion of both Child and Justice. With Child, I'm not a huge fan of the verses, but I love everything else about it. Whereas with Justice, I'm not a huge fan of the chorus, but I love everything else about that. Now, with Child, it ends and then you have a guitar play the melody again, whatever. But it goes through that twice, and then when it's over, there's just a bunch of nothingness, and it's like an entire minute long of outro. You could have just went through the melody just one time, and that's it, and just faded out a little bit after that. Could have saved you so much time. So when I listen to that song, it's like, okay, he's doing the guitar or whatever, let it out softly, and then there's just dead space, and it's like, did Spotify pause or something? Oh yeah. No, it's just the song still ending.
It's annoying.
And there's over half of the songs on this album have that, and it's so annoying. Like,
yeah,
you just gotta you could cut off so much time from this album just from that alone.
It's another example of a design choice that was just not a good choice.
Yeah, but still, this is a cool album. And I think the song that grew on me the absolute most was track number 3, A Secret Door. Now, when we listened to it in our first impressions, I didn't love it, but I didn't dislike it. I'm just like, it's alright, not bad, I guess. But the more I listened to it, the more things started to get catchy, the more I really liked the whistling, the more overall that song stood out to me. As a melodic song that also has a lot of energy to it, I still think it could be an effective album closer. Even though Wormhole's a good one, I think that song could work as well.
Yeah, I think Secret Door, I always like the song. I think it's really good. It gives me a Toxicity vibe. Like if you listen to the song, the riffing at the beginning, the structure of the song, how it starts off, kind of like, not talky, but like soft singing, very kind of mellow, like just like Toxicity, and all of a sudden, bam, it kicks into like some heavy stuff. The vibe is there. It's Toxicity vibe through and through, and I like that. And I think a lot of other people will like that, and they'll kind of maybe hear remnants of it and go, hey, this kind of sounds like System of a Down.
Yeah.
I found a lot of this album actually gave me like System of a Down vibes, Toxicity vibes, and also Slipknot vibes, like All Hope Is Gone era Slipknot. Like if you listen to like the next song, God of Sick Dreams, you listen to that song and then you put on Vendetta from All Hope Is Gone, you can see a definite comparison there in the rhythms and the structure of the song.
Yeah, you can like layer them on top of each other and it'll work.
Yeah, it'll work. So yeah, if you were to mash up like Toxicity and All Hope Is Gone and smush them together, you'd get pretty much an album that sounds like this, which is pretty interesting, to say the least. But yeah, what do you think about rating it now? Because yeah, I think it's time.
Well, overall, this is a solid album, but I can't say it's super exceptional. It kind of starts off in a really awesome spot, slowly decays a bit, and then kind of shoots back up again near the end. So it kind of has a lull in the middle, but this is still a solid album. Still worth listening to. I give it a 7.
Fair score. I also think this is a really solid album, guys, and I definitely think you guys should check it out and listen to it. But as we mentioned, there's just a few little things, like just design choices that just didn't work out, and unfortunately I can't give it a toe tag. I really wanted to, but I just can't do it. So it's gonna get actually a 7.5 for me. It's on the doorstep. It's just shy, but those flaws are just too big for me, man. I just can't justify it. So
just short of a toe tag from both of us. Closer for you, not as close for me. 7 and 7.5, still pretty good scores for this album, guys.
Yeah, definitely
so
solid.
Check it out if you can, and let us know in the comments what your thoughts are of this album after an entire week of its release. Remember to like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, and come back every single day to vote on our best metal band in the world tournament. Round 2 has started.
Yeah.
I'm TV Fish.
And I'm Vile Self.
And we'll see you guys later.